Wendy Brown's States of Injury, Power and Freedom in Late Modernity was published in 1995. In her work, Brown draws on the intellectual contributions of Nietzsche, Marx, Foucault, and Weber. While summarizing the vast scope of her work is challenging, her central focus revolves around the definitions of citizenship, processes of identity formation, and regulatory practices within liberal bureaucratic states. Brown argues that emancipatory politics pursued within depoliticized and regulated environments tend to replicate the very structures they seek to subvert. Her analysis delves into the intricate levels of individual identity and epistemology, employing resources from political thought history and postmodernism to explore how powerlessness can give rise to a deceptive political discourse that paralyzes progress and fosters toxic resentments. Brown's overarching goal is to advocate for robust democracy, prioritizing freedom over security, and promoting the desire for shared power within feminism, rather than seeking protection from it. She urges radical democracy to truly challenge the terms of debate within liberal discourse, rather than simply demanding a share of its benefits. In her analysis, Brown engages with late modern state power, drawing inspiration from Foucault, but also incorporating Marxian, Nietzschean, and Weberian insights. She critiques the ways in which identity politics, translated into rights claims, often unintentionally reinforce the very forms of oppression they aim to overcome. Many progressive intellectuals, influenced by Foucault, turned away from the state, precisely as it solidified a distinct form of power in the late modern era. However, Brown argues that this resulted in assertions of freedom that could be easily co-opted. She includes examples such as progressive liberalism, bourgeois feminism, radical democracy in protest groups, self-help movements, therapeutic discourses, and the discourses of feminists against pornography and critical legal theorists. In Wendy Brown's analysis, the cautionary tales of Weber and Marx complement Foucault's insights by highlighting the potential pitfalls of institutionalizing rights in law. Brown argues that rights claims often inadvertently reinforce the identity as injury paradigm, where seeking redress through rights can depoliticize the conditions of victimization and naturalize the identity of individuals as victims. According to Brown, rights claims are themselves manifestations of a perpetually politicized desire. For example, Brown critiques Catherine MacKinnon's attack on pornography, arguing that it repositions women as victims and perpetuates the notion of heterosexism as natural. She also examines Patricia Williams' defense of rights as boundary markers, which removes racist constructions of Black women's sexuality from public scrutiny. Brown considers rights to be among the most deceptive mechanisms of social control and objects of desire, drawing on Nietzsche to argue that feminists in the North Atlantic context need to develop a politics free from resentment. She urges a shift from an individualistic focus on I am to a collective focus on I want this for us, emphasizing desired futures, rather than dwelling on past wrongs. Brown's analysis results in an agonistic politics of postmodern judgment, akin to a form of master morality. However, she asserts that it is a politics that combines feminist and postmodern political spaces, going beyond Nietzsche's individualism. While Brown's theoretical critiques are brilliant, there is a lack of discussion about who appears in these new political spaces. This raises questions about how this politics would work for individuals like Williams. The master-slave analogy used by Brown reveals the need for more specific analyses of how the politics of ressentiment manifests for different groups. Brown's treatment of the particular constituents of identity's desire for recognition, as specific for our time yet roughly generic for a diverse spectrum of identities, limits the depth of her portrayal of identity politics as a complex historical production. Perhaps only a collectively constructed we can determine whether we desire rights in our emancipatory politics, and where they fit within it.